Hello everybody, it's Julia here with another in my series of Learn Tarot, and we're up to number 6 in the Minor Arcana now, so only 4 more videos after this and I shall have done a video for every card in the deck. I think I've done all the Major Arcana, the Court cards, yeah, so we can then go on to talk about other things to do with reading tarot, like reversals, numerology, astrology, spreads, layouts, what different cards mean in relation to each other. There's all sorts of things that we can talk about. So yeah, I'm really, excuse me, I'm really pleased to have got this far. It's been over a year actually, because I only seem to manage to do a couple of these videos every month. So it's been over a year that I've been at this Learn Tarot series. So it's felt quite an achievement actually, particularly with only 4 videos to go, and I'll have done all of the cards. So anyway, today we're going to talk about the sixes, and sixes in numerology, they represent balance, harmony, equilibrium. They're a much needed energy, a much needed rest really, if you like, after the fives. The fives are cards of conflict and disharmony, whereas the sixes bring solutions. They bring solutions that bring everything together beautifully. Everything will make sense with a 6. They can be the aha cards of the deck. So we'll start off with the 6 of Wands, and this is a masculine suit, the Wands, and this particular card, the astrology, is Jupiter in Leo. So in its higher realms, this card can represent the achievement of one's hopes. There's victory with all the success and satisfaction that can bring. There's good news, maybe public validation of your work or your efforts, whether they be creative visions or real work. There's an increased self-esteem and self-confidence with this card. And this card really does urge you to have faith and trust yourself and your instincts. In its lower levels, this card can represent delays, disloyalty, partial gain, competition, failing to achieve your hopes and wishes, but it can also represent ego and showing off and being shallow and arrogant, I guess, about your victories, because there's very much the sense of victory here. You know, we can see the man sitting nice and upright on his horse. He's got his laurel on his head. He's got his laurel on his wand. Everybody around him is holding their wands upright. This is very much a card of victory and pride and self-esteem and self-confidence, of a job done well, I think. I talked about the lower, yeah. Sorry, my brain again today. So in the 6 of Wands in the Tarot of the Abyss, we can see a very similar thing going on here, can't we? It looks like she's a ballet dancer. She's the centre of attention. Everybody's clapping and cheering, and she's bowing, and she's obviously danced the best dance of her life. This is major public validation of her efforts. And we see in the Pensive Path Tarot a very similar thing again, of the beautiful girl on the white horse in the circus ring. And she really is in the centre of a crowd. She really is the centre of attention. She's riding bareback. She's standing on the back of the horse. I mean, this is major victory. This is major success over her skills, her training, her strength, her experience, everything that she's learned, everything that she's achieved is all coming together here in this moment, at being the centre of attention and getting all of this public validation, all the reward that hard work and that effort that she's put in has brought for her. So there we go, that's the Wands. So with the Cups, with the Six of Cups, this is a beautiful card. So this is obviously a feminine energy, and the astrology of this card is the Sun in Scorpio. This is about feeling good about anything that comes back to you, that comes back into your life from the past, whether that be people, situations, or even just memories. There's much pleasure found in these things that's healing and nurturing for you. There's a kind of inner contentment here of wanting to please loved ones, wanting to create good memories, the giving and receiving of love and respect. In its lower realms, this can be living in the past. This can be sentimental fantasies that are untrue. It can be self-recrimination about past deeds. That lack of inner contentment, really. In the Six of Cups in the Tower of the Abyss, we can see more of those lower realm energies here, I think, perhaps of living in the past. There's, I think, some kind of self-recrimination going on here. You know, that it looks to me like this man is looking back at a memory in his life, something that perhaps went wrong, somebody that might have walked away, a relationship breakdown, and there's some kind of self-recrimination about the past, about past deeds. There's regret about the past, I think, here, really. Let's have a quick little look in the book and just see whether I've kind of got that right. I can find the cups. Where are the cups? There you go. So the Six of Cups. So it says, memories form a large part of who we are, the people we've met and interacted with in our past and our childhood. All of these strung together form the picture of who we are as individuals. So the Six of Cups is a card of review. We're reviewing things from our past relationships, but now through a more objective lens. So the Six of Cups can bring with it some kind of nostalgia. Perhaps a reunion or a person from your past is making you think of all the things that you thought were forgotten. And it's okay to think of the past as long as you don't start living in it. Memories are sometimes fickle, and we tend to remember things in a much better light than they truly were. Isn't that the truth, hey? So use the past to better your future. Use the emotional lessons, but don't let yourself dwell too much in the past. If you're reading this card as a follow-up to the Five of Cups, where we had sorrow and regret, here we've moved beyond the sorrow. We're now reviewing things from our past relationships and can have a much more objective stance. So that's what's going on in this card, is this man is in his head, in his mind, is he's looking back over his life and reviewing those things, not necessarily in a sad way, but perhaps in a more objective way. And then with the last card here of the Six of Cups, we've got the Pensive Path Tarot, and I think this is sort of speaking of that energy of wanting to please loved ones, about wanting to create good memories. I don't really know what is going on in this piece of artwork particularly, but it looks to me like these children have brought a fish, perhaps to their mum, to cook for tea. That would certainly put them in their mum's good books, and it would create fond and pleasant memories for everybody, wouldn't it? So if we were going to reflect upon the energy of the Six of Cups, if we had anything to learn from it, some questions we might ask would be, what memories or relationships from the past have reappeared? How are children or childlike pleasures meaningful in your current situation? And lastly, what do you give in friendships? What kind of friend are you? So there we go. That's a lovely card, isn't it? The Six of Cups. So the Six of Swords is next. And this is a masculine energy, a masculine suit. But the astrology of this card is Mercury in Aquarius. So in its higher realms, this card speaks of us leaving our difficulties behind. We can see that, of leaving troubled waters down here and moving into calmer waters. But a more accurate meaning might be in relation to thoughts and ideas and your mind, in that of solving a complex problem perhaps. You now know how to fix or get rid of problems, how to make your ideas work smoothly. There is insight and understanding and an acceptance of the limitations that you face. Things are feeling better, I think, no longer feeling burdened. In its lower realms, this card could speak of a stalemate, of blaming others, a lack of insight, an inability to learn from your mistakes, an inability to move on. And then the other two cards that we've got here, excuse me, itchy. We've got the Tower of the Abyss, and we've got that similar energy here going on, haven't we, of a woman on a bird flying away, flying over the top of all of this rough water, which represents emotion, the rough seas, into calmer seas, which would represent our thought processes, as these are swords. So we would be leaving troublesome emotions behind and flying into a calmer headspace. We can also see that here in the Pensive Path Tarot, and this really gorgeous old piece of art here of a man sailing away, perhaps his family, to safety, of leaving a troubled time, perhaps of war. I mean, I don't know what's going on in this picture particularly, but some of those, there may be smoke in the air there, or fires. Perhaps they're leaving a war behind, travelling to somewhere safer. But obviously this card is swords, so this is a card of the mind. This is a card of ideas, thoughts, logic, understanding, insight, clarity. So this again is about leaving behind a situation that was causing you conflict within your mind, and sailing away to a place that is calmer, where there is more clarity and understanding and insight. So there we go, that's the swords. Okay, and the last cards we've got here are the Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles. So this is a feminine energy, the suit of Pentacles, and the astrology of this card is Mars in Taurus. So in its higher realms, this card is about giving and receiving. This card represents help from without. It can indicate a gift or the need for the gracious acceptance of generosity of others. There's always help out there. There's always a solution. And it can also be a reminder to the more well-off querent that to give a gift to others is really important, to be observant for ways to be generous with other people, to share where it really matters, to see others as an extension of yourself, you know, this as above and so below energy, really, the hermetic dictum that is as above and so below, that everybody else really is only an extension of yourself, and so it's important to treat people well. In its lower realms, this card could talk of being unsuccessful, of poverty, of self-absorption, jealousy, envy, being ungiving of yourself or your time with other people. Yeah. In the Pensive Path Tarot, we can see that energy going on here, is that often in life you don't get something for nothing, you know, and here this little dog is having to do his trick to get his treat. You know, he's having to sit there and wait and be good and do as he's told to get his treat. And we all face those things in life. You know, when you go to work, you do as you're told to get your salary, to get your money. Children do as they're told all the time in order to get rewards and to learn and to get the things that they want. It's that kind of reciprocal energy, isn't it, that we all face in life, is that it's rare to get something for nothing. And then the last card here we've got is the Tarot of the Abyss, and I'm not really sure what reciprocal energy is going on in this card. This man has got a big bag of money and he's helping out somebody less fortunate than him. He's helping out somebody poor. So let's have a look and see what the book says about this. Six of Pentacles. So a kind-hearted person is seen offering aid to someone who is in need. Hers? Oh, it is a woman, sorry. Hers is a selfless act born out of genuine concern and care. The Six of Pentacles is a card that focuses on the idea of giving and receiving, although this can come in many forms, through offering your skills or financial support. The main point, however, is that help is offered selflessly without expectation of gain or reward. In this circumstance, you may be the giver or the receiver. Ask yourself whether you are the one who lacks or the one who is fortunate enough to be able to give. If you've reached a point of comfort and contentment, you can now allow yourself to be generous. If you presently find yourself in a financial bind, this card is telling you that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. However dim it may appear at the moment, help is on its way. Every action has value and can impact a person positively or negatively. Regardless of whether you're on the giving or receiving side, remember that it is in giving that we do receive, and that when we receive earnestly with an open heart, we also bless the giver. So that's what this is about, isn't it? Is that this person here receiving with an open heart is in turn blessing the person that is giving and being generous to them. So that's a beautiful idea, isn't it? And takes us somewhat away from this, which is what most of us know in life, isn't it? That in order to get something, you have to give something. You know, we learn that very quickly as children. We learn that at work, at school. You know, at school, if you don't do your work, you don't get the rewards, or there is a punishment. And that is the same in life for many of us, isn't it? In that in order to get things, we have to give things, or we have to do certain things. But this card is really telling us that just by our very act of receiving with an open heart, we can also bless the person that is giving. So I think that's a lovely message and a lovely energy there to finish off on. So if we were going to ask some questions of ourselves, if we were going to self-reflect upon this energy of the Six of Pentacles, we might ask such things as, with whom are you sharing your good fortune, resources and skills? What do you have that others need? How do you manage your time? And what do you need from others? So there we go. I hope, as usual, that you enjoyed that. I hope that it was informative and helpful to you in your journey of learning tarot. I'd love to hear from any of you in the comments if you've got anything to say or different interpretations of these cards. I would love to hear from you. And I shall see you again soon with the 7s and the 8s. Hopefully, as I said, we've just got 4 more cards to do and I will have covered all of the cards in the deck. So I'll be really, really pleased about that. So thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you're well. Much love to everybody and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.